Okay, another quick video for you. This is my version 2 fishing rod. You don't need all these pieces, but what I wanted to show you is this is what it looks like when you print it in one piece. I had to print this on my Ender 3. I printed it this orientation with some support in there, obviously. And then this is a 2-piece rod that I printed on my Ender 2, smaller envelope. Printed like this, support, and I didn't completely clean this one off. I just wanted to print this one to make sure that these 2 pieces went together. So those 2 pieces go together. They fit really, really tight. That's good. I do have all the material out of there, so yep. Put it together and twist. If you need a 2-piece rod for the space, that'll work. You could then glue the plug in if you wanted to. Otherwise, that just press fits in the end. I got to make this slightly bigger. I'll fix that before I put the files online, but this plug goes in the end. You can store the tip of the rod in there, a few hooks, split shot, that sort of thing. And like I said, I'll make this a friction fit so you don't have to glue it. You can take it out to get your stuff out, obviously, but I'll have that fixed before I upload the files. The rod just goes in there like that. You can glue it in if you want. I'm going to leave it removable in case it breaks. Also, I can store it in there, less chance of it breaking. All the black parts you see here, I used Polymaker Polylite PLA-CF for carbon fiber. And if I can get the camera to focus, it leaves a really nice finish. I did 0.16 layer height. I printed everything at 30% infill except for these 2 parts. I printed at 100%. I also printed this at 100%. Everything else had gyroid infill. So to assemble this, you drop the spool in through the center here. Take your crank, and I just did a very, very light sanding on this. Also, if you just get it just slightly moist, that helps it go in here. Try and line the holes up, the hole in here and the hole in the spool before I push it together. And then you just got to line up you can get it aligned to the camera, get that hole lined up. And then the push pin, the orientation you print this pin in, it's slightly larger at the bottom. If it's not, you might need to align your printer a little bit, and I just snapped it. So I'll have to print another one of those, but that you got to make sure you get it very, very closely aligned. So I'm going to have to print a new pin, but it's actually in there. It snapped off, but that's where that pin goes. And then take your knob and put it on this pin, and it is pretty much a friction fit, but I'm just going to go ahead and put just a little bit of super glue on there, and then that presses into the crank here. There we go, and it is pretty tight. Probably be fine without glue. This is how you hold it. This is how you reel it in as you're winding line on. So it'll go through here. You're winding line onto the bottom of the spool here, because you'd think it goes this way. That's incorrect, because then you got to reel backwards to reel in the fish. It goes that way, and you reel in the fish. And like I said, this might want to print a couple of these pins. Make sure you get it really closely aligned. You might want to try and put an Allen wrench in there to make sure it's perfectly centered, because I didn't have it perfect and I snapped it. So I'll print a new pin, and then that is your fishing pole assembled.